Yeah. Well, looky there. Perfect timing.
Hey, we're live.
Yeah. Do you like when people say, we're live? Thanks for joining us today.
No, that's why I say it. I just wanted to do Frankenstein.
All right. And for most people, if you don't know, we're going to do these Mondays and Fridays, except for I was in New York City.
Did you get some paste pecani sauce?
No idea, but I went to Seinfeld's Diner and went to Times Square and went to Central Park.
How was the diner?
It was better on TV. Actually, what's funny is because it's the outside.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in, it's not the set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the problem.
That's the magic of TV.
I know, because where they have the door is not where you walk in, and and the counter doesn't look like the counter, and the booths don't look like the booth. It's just the outside.
I think I would just leave.
Yeah, I bought a coffee cup that I'll never use, because it's too small.
There you go again.
You know how it is. Coffee's for closers. So
yes, they are. Yes, it is.
But the market had its normal week, up and down, and some people are nervous, and some people are thinking we're in a bubble. We're always going to have skeptics.
You talking about the stock market or the real estate market?
Everything.
Yeah.
What did you see this week?
What I see this week is the increase of listings that we talked about last week. Still going on. Not as many as last week. But what I'm also noticing is prices are pretty stable. The reductions are fewer this last week, except for those sellers and agents that just thought the market was still cracker hot and went above what the last people sold for. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let the market take it up if it does, but be priced to sell and be accepting of the value today.
I agree totally. There's just so much going on, but I think people were overpricing, and some of these houses that were priced, we didn't think the value was going to come in, and the value's coming in.
Right.
So I think people are pricing at a point thinking that's the market, and then everybody comes in a little bit over when really whatever they're coming over is the market. So.
Yeah, I think appraisers are having a tough time, but if you get a good appraiser, one that knows how to write a narrative and can see the differences between one place and another, those appraisals are coming in. And you know what? I'm old school. I'll meet the appraiser at the house, bring him comps that maybe he didn't think about, especially if they're an out-of-town appraiser. You want to make him familiar with the neighborhood. Don't use those comps 2.5 blocks away that are completely scaled down from the neighborhood you're in. That's not a comp.
Right.
But anyway, I digress.
Even though technically they need to ask for those, but you just leave them on the counter in case they see them, right? I
just say, I'm old school. You can have them if you want them.
Right. And it's important to know, again, the neighborhood you're trying to buy, what you're trying to do. I just think right now with the rates where they're at, it's just making it easier for people to take advantage of the fact that people think it's a bad time to buy. And that is the perfect time for you to get into that house that you wouldn't have been able to get into unless you wanted to pay 50 or 60, 70,000 over everybody else.
Yeah. A little less competition.
Yeah. And that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. It kind of brings us back to a more stable market.
Right. Which still not going to be too stable.
Thanks, Garrett. Glad you're on.
Hey, Garrett. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
I used to run track with that guy.
Really?
Dude, he was fast. He probably still is.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like us, probably overweight. I didn't say you were overweight.
I am.
Talk about myself.
I am. I could drop another 3,700 pounds.
Yeah. Always 10%.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was in New York and
tell me about that. So
it's weird because everybody, like California, we lost 700,000 people, and everybody's like, oh, we have so many people living in California. Well, when you have 40 million, 700,000 is nothing. That's 2%, right?
Right.
If I do the math.
Yeah.
Most of the people in New York City moved to Upper New York.
Okay.
Out just like here, where everybody moved from the Bay Area to Central Valley or up to the up to Tahoe or someplace away from the city. Same thing happened there. The city itself is just coming back. We were in Manhattan, very expensive.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, but there's buildings that have nobody in them.
Wow.
Where we had our event at, because they rent usually a space. That floorette, the place we were in it. The suite next to it was just huge, and the suite next to it was huge. It was empty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What type of building? What was it?
It was like a high rise.
High rise.
Yeah.
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 One of the things that we keep talking about at legislative days is with all these empty commercial buildings, doing a variance in your zoning and trying to create a village within commercial property, like converting a Save Mart building into multiple units. You got all kinds of crazy stuff to think about. I mean, God, what a wonderful way to, someone oopsie doopsies and has a fire. Does the whole place burn down? What do you do? But
what are you saying? Burn down the place? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I did. I did.
No, but that's what they're
not
doing.
In a disco way.
Right. That's what they're going to do there is they're going to convert a lot of the buildings downtown that were office space into living space.
Right.
To help with the actual people not being able to find a place to live. And I think the same thing should be done everywhere. If you don't need that office building, I mean, there's some buildings like in Modesto that are houses that were turned into office buildings that you might not need anymore as you can turn them back to a house.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's sitting vacant.
Right.
And that you don't even have to rezone. It's already probably in a mixed use area. So just turn it back. The ones that you need to rezone, but you think about how many vacant, just grocery stores, just vacant old, pick Save Mart for one.
How about Longs?
Yeah, well, that's, I guess it's supposed to be a U-Haul, but then I understand it's not going to be the U-Haul.
Well, if you walk up to the door, they put a red tag on it saying it was unsafe to be in there.
Yeah. That's
kind of hard to be whatever.
Yeah. And we used to buy drugs there when it was Longs. So I always thought that should have been. You're kidding. I just want to make sure you're
Longs
listening.
Drugstore.
Longs Drugstore.
But I see a lot of rezoning, changing, a lot of stuff that's going to have to happen because we need houses.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
we're so short. How many people you can put in each one? The hotel motel. I guess it's a hotel because it's 2-story over on by Kansas and 99 that they converted to Next Chance housing.
Mm-hmm.
They did that so quickly. I think they did that in like 3 or 4 months and had that thing completely converted and then filled up. Why can't we do that all the time?
Right. But for other people.
Well, for just people.
Yeah.
Every place you live is a step up.
Right. Well, I mean, they converted a lot of the, apartment complexes the last time into condos.
Yeah.
And, that was fine, but we don't have many of those places left, right? I mean, they're building a lot of places, but they're going to keep them multifamily because that's where the money is.
And really, if it weren't for all the damn lawsuits, when condos were being built, we probably would still have more condos.
Right.
But, some of the lawsuits, my entry light is 2 inches off center.
Oh, really?
But I understand there's legislation coming out to help get rid of some of this real frivolous stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think that's very important because we need to build more things, and maybe they can just zone them as PUDs, like some of the other places instead of condos.
Well, and then with a PUD, you can get
I know
more financing, right?
Yeah, there's no
FHA.
question. No, they don't have to be approved,
right?
Like condo complexes have to be, which most of them don't even go through the process anymore.
Do we have any in Modesto? No.
Conventional or some cash only, depending on or some of those, like there's some in Modesto that had litigation against it, and the only way you could get a loan in there through this one company, and it's that's what they were doing, or pay cash.
Yep.
All right, anything else we need to know? I'm in out of town, so you see the inflation's up, just so you know, but you got to remember that's looking backwards. They think we're already in the recession.
I believe we already are.
Yeah. They said there was a 50-50 chance.
Those are pretty good odds.
I think we are. I can see it out there already. People are hurting.
Yeah.
I mean, you got baby formula that no one can find right in the United States. And the other problem is the government's buying up everything it is and shipping it to the border. But if you're having a problem with this, I know it's a real estate store. They said, go on Amazon and change it to a different country, like Canada.
Really?
They have it. Yeah. And have it shipped down from Canada. I hope that helps any mom looking for it, because there's nothing worse than not being able to feed your baby.
Oh, no kidding. Devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely devastating.
It's right up there with the husband.
Husband go forage for himself if he needs to. Eat a salad. No, I don't think there's anything else. I think it's going to be beautiful weather this weekend, and get out there and sell some homes.
That's right. And if you're looking for a house, if you're having questions on it, reach out to Mike. He can answer any question. He's been around forever. And I don't mean that wrong, but
no, look at the hair.
Yeah, well, at least you have some.
Mm.
And if you have any questions at all, even if just reach out, find us through Instagram, anywhere. You can message us through Facebook just to ask questions and leave your comments if you like what we're doing here. And if there's any questions you have, make a comment and we'll talk about it on the next one on Monday. And
absolutely.
Everybody have a great weekend. If you need anything, reach out. Otherwise, and thanks, Mike, for being here.
Thanks, Ed, for having me, and enjoy the weekend.
All right, everybody. See you Monday.
Bye, kids.